Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie Shepard. This is my teaching demonstration. Today I'll be discussing ratios and proportions. I want to give a little bit of a disclaimer. I have filled in the blanks on these posters. Unfortunately, in the editing process, I deleted my entire first video. This is round 2, so my blanks are filled in. First, we'll start with ratios. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities by division. The ratio of A to B can be written as A over B, or A to B, or simply A to B. To write the comparison of 2 feet 3 yards as a ratio, we would write 2 feet over 3 yards. We can also change to common units. So instead of 2 feet to 3 yards, we can change them into common units and figure that out. So with our 2 feet and 3 yards, we know 1 yard equals 3 feet. So if we're going to change to feet, there are 3 yards, so 3 feet times 3 yards is 9. We bring over our 2 feet. So the ratio of feet is 2 feet, 2 to 9. So we can write it as the 2 to 9, or 2 to 9, or 2 to 9. So if we wanted to solve and find the ratio of 2 meters to 300 centimeters, we would use our knowledge for unit conversion from the metric system. We know that 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So if we know 100 centimeters equals 1 meter, 2 meters must equal 200 centimeters. So we would just plug that into our ratio. 300 centimeters over 2 meters. So this would equal 300 centimeters because we're keeping centimeters. We would change 2 meters into centimeters, giving us 200 centimeters. So the ratio is 300 centimeters to 200 centimeters. Looking at proportions, a proportion is a statement that two ratios are equal. We could write the equation here, A over B equals C over D. Our first ratio equals our second ratio. Now, proportions have 4 terms. They're labeled here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. First term, second term, third term, fourth term. There are also other terms to label these. For example, A and D, or 1 and 4, are called extremes. So they're labeled here with an E. 2 and 3, or B and C, those are the means. So we have M here for means. So we want to make sure to label correctly for this proportion. We have extremes labeled, our A and our D, and our 1 and our 4. Our means are labeled, our 2 and 3, or our B and our C are our means. Solving for proportions. To solve for proportions, we will cross multiply. I will show you here. We simply multiply A times D and B times C. It can also be written A times D equals B times C. So for this proportion here, we want to solve for X. What we would do is we would do our cross multiplication. 2 times 24, which is 48. And 6 times X is 6X. So what we would do is we would get rid of our terms here, leaving 48 over 6 equals X. This did not need to be crossed out. That's still there. So 48 over 6 equals X. 48 divided by 6 is 8. So X equals 8. So to write it in the terms A times D equals B times C, we have our 2 times 4, which is A times D, equals 6 times 8, our B and our C. We solve for X, which is our C, is 8. So to make sure this is a true proportion, which means the product of the extremes equals the product of the means, we can find out here. 2 times 4 is 48. And then 6 times 8 is 48. So because these equal, this is a true proportion. This is my teaching demonstration. I'll see you later.